Hello. You're with Scott. It's midnight. It really is midnight now. It's still midnight. Still, what are we doing? A tier list of the bears, of the 8 different kinds of bear species. I'm quite tired now, so this streaming malarkey, I'm going to push and finish this tier list tonight. That's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And we're up to the final 2. So let's jump straight back in. I'm not going to explain the concept, so I think you've probably just got it. If you're watching video 3, I'm guessing you've watched video 1 and 2. And if you haven't, just watch them. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. Number 2, the brown bear. Ursus, again. It's another Ursus. So we've got a... sorry, let's just have a look at this picture for a second. Look at that. There's 2 of them fighting. They're fighting. But blimey, they look like they're in a mirror against each other. It's just, wow. Look at that. Urgh. Chompy chompers. Big old noses. They're like giant dog things, aren't they? Like, whoa. Big old chompers. You couldn't see any of that, could you? See, top streamer. Top streamer. What I was looking at was this when I was saying that. So in the video, I'll edit it back in. I'm tired now. Let's stream this out. Let's push this out. Limmy's still streaming. Limmy's streaming right now. I was hosting him on my stream earlier. Nobody follows my stream, so it doesn't benefit him in any way that I host him. But if you know about Limmy, then he's streaming. And if you already knew that, then you already knew that. And if you didn't, then you can have a look. And if you didn't know who Limmy is, then you're watching this, and I've introduced you to Limmy. So, you know, I deserve some credit there for introducing you to Limmy, don't I? Limmy. You can have a look at him on the old internet. The brown bear, Ursus arctos. There are several subspecies, so there are lots of different species of brown bear. The brown bear, look at that, whoa, big tucker, big fuzzy tucker. Classic bear, isn't it? Classic bear. The brown bear can be found in Alaska. I love Alaska. Love Alaska. Love the whole concept of it. Just the original people, the way they live with the wildlife, the respect they have for it. Alaska's a different story. Alaska, Western Canada, and parts of Washington, Montana, and so America. The other bears were, you know, they talked about where they were based on country. So we're talking about America here, aren't we? But I suppose these states are big: Washington, Montana, Wyoming. Small individual populations are scattered throughout parts of Europe and Asia. Parts of Europe. Yeah. You might run into one of these in parts of Europe and Asia. Wow. So that's a bear I might be able to run into one day. More likely than the others. Looks quite friendly in a way, but I bet if you went to bup it on the nose, it's not going to be happy at all. But you see what I mean about it looking a bit like a dog? Like a giant shiver house of a dog. Russia has a healthy population of brown bears. Brown bears range in colour from almost black, brown to very light brown or blonde. So, yeah. Characteristically named after their colour, and the colour changes, varies. Size varies greatly depending on geographic location and general food availability. The largest bears, the big browns, exist along the coast of Alaska and Russia, growing to very large sizes, rivaling that of the polar bear. Impressive. And that's going to be pushing this up the scale on the ranking scale. The interior bears of the North American Rocky Mountains, grizzly bear, and the mountains of Europe tend to be much smaller, but I guess they're varieties of the brown bear. The really big bears, 700 kilograms, 1,500 pounds and bigger, are now very rare, but that's a possibility. A 1,500 pound brown bear. Wow. It's like he's got a haircut. It's like he's wearing a big fuzzy hat. It's like a dog wearing a big fuzzy hat. Pretty awesome. Bear. Look at that one. So let's chop right back into our tier list here. Here's the tier list. 2 left. It's this one. It's not this one, is it? But this is the one we're gonna. This is the brown one eating a fish. Hang on. Let's just flip back. There's 2 left. One of them's the brown bear. One of them's the North American black bear. Oh, I see black. Okay. So the brown one eating the fish. That's the one we've just been talking about. And it's high up, isn't it? It's definitely a top bear. Is it as impressive? I've forgotten what this one is. I'm tired now. I've forgotten what this one is. That's a panda. Down the bottom there, we've got the sloth bear. The sun-kissed sun bear there. Spectacle bear. Panda. And this is the giant Huffy Tuffy. What was that one? The giant Huffy Tuffy. It was a Asiatic black bear, or the Himalayan black bear. That's what it was. The Himalayan black bear. Yeah. So this American bear versus the. I think they just sit equal, don't they? This can get as big as the polar bear, but it's not as specialised. It's found across most parts of the world. It's more prolific, so more common, less rare. They're sort of collectible card terms, but not ecological population terms. But yeah, I think we're going to give that an A, aren't we? You can argue about it if you want directly with me in chat, but you're not here, so you can't. Can you? What does chat say? Chat says welcome to the chat room. So that's all it says. So it's going to be an A. It's going to be a healthy A for the brown bear. Let's find out about our final bear and see whether the final bear can topple the polar bear, or whether the final bear is just going to sit there equal to it, or whether it for some reason might plummet down the list. But I can't see it plummeting down the list because this is based on the shock and awe of seeing it in the wild. So I suppose I would be less surprised about seeing this more common bear than I would the panda even. So for that aspect it should go down to a C, shouldn't it? So we're going to push the panda up, and we're going to push this more common bear into a B, because it's such a good bear, it can't be any lower than a B. That's what we're doing. But the shock and awe of seeing it, I suppose they get really big as well, don't they? Really big. Panda's less scary, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll stick with that. Decisions, huh? Right, let's have a look at our final bear. Find out about the North American black bear, Ursus americanus. It comes in black, bluish black. Blue is a beautiful colour on an animal. It's not like blue. It's just the kind of black is so black it almost looks blue. And then you get certain dogs that they call blue. And again, they're like a kind of grey, but it's a bluey grey. It's lovely. Look at these. Hello. Scary. Menacing looking. Hello. Not hello like, hello, I could give you a petting. Like, not like the other one, the brown one, which, you know, under the right circumstances, you'd be like, oh, look at it. But this, stumble across that in a clearing, you'd be like, oh, no. The North American black bear comes in all these different colours. Look at that thick, big old holes in that nose. Big old chocker of a nose. Look at it. Ooh. Big bear, that one. It's the most common bear in North America, ranging from the state of Florida, North Florida has bears, into Canada, and north to Alaska. The black and brown colour phase of the black bear is common. The white colour phase is more rare, occurring in northwestern British Columbia, Canada. So you'd kind of think that's a polar bear, wouldn't you? But it's not. It's not. Cheeky. Very strange. A white bear that's not a polar bear. The black bear is omnivorous. Their diet's mostly vegetable matter. Again, pretty much a vegan. That's a vegan. Giant, big, huffing, vegan. All that mass, all that power, all that fat. You know, it's a vegan diet. So don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't get enough protein on a vegan diet, because an animal like that gets enough protein. And look, I mean, it might not be, I mean, I don't know, I'm not an expert on the physiology of bears comparative to humans, I suppose. You know, it might not be a good comparison, but just at the end of the day, the bear's basically vegan, isn't it? So, something worth considering, isn't it? Omnivorous, just like us. Males reach full size at about 8 years of age. Females mate and produce cubs at 5 to 7 years of age, 8 years and older in the boreal forest regions, Ontario. The males weigh up to 280 kilograms, 600 pounds, so this isn't the biggest. Occasionally much more, so this is not the biggest bear. Black bears live up to 25 years in the wild. Older bears have been documented, however the majority of bears never reach old age due to human activity. That means getting shot, hunting. So they don't get to be an old bear. The majority. That's a shame, isn't it? Again, I'm not an expert in hunting of bears, but it sounds like a shame to me that the majority of them don't get to live out a natural life. Seems a bit unfair. Yeah, so not to drag us down, let's fade. Sweet fade into transition into tier list. Where's my tier list? The final bear. I kind of feel like this, because the brown bear's the one out of Grizzly Man, isn't it? You know, that's your Timothy Treadwell bear, the brown one. And I think that deserves to maybe be pushed up to A-star. But the polar bear is so specialised. These are all kinds of equivalent, aren't they? I mean, this one maybe even the shock and awe of seeing it in the wild, though. The shock and awe of seeing it in the wild. You know. Comes in all these different colours as well. It's mean. Mean and scary. Yeah. Okay, I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to definitely have this one up here. And maybe this one just drops down to, because panda is a fairly, you know, panda's a high level of quality. It's just it doesn't scare me as much, whereas this is such a high scare if it's big. But there's a chance it could not be big, and there's a chance that it might not be so scare. And there's also a chance that it might look cute and ugly, but you still don't want to bop it on the nose, so it's still got some rip your face off toughness. Let's have these lower three. So that's my tier list. That's our tier list. Bears tier list maker. We can thank Professional ID, no followers on Twitter there. I think that's who made it. I don't know. Tier list. I don't know. So look, don't follow them on Twitter. They've got no followers. F it. If you think differently, if you think these bears should be in a different order, please leave a comment in the description below. Just, tell me. Make sure I know. Find a way for me to find out that these bears are in the wrong order. And we'll never come back to rearrange them. That's just set in stone, I don't know. Is there a way to set that in stone? Is there a button I can press? Save, download, share on Twitter. If I share it on Twitter, then it is set in stone. It's said, isn't it, on Twitter? And once it's said on Twitter, people can dig it up a million years later, use it as like an archaeological tool to beat you over the head with. Not that I've said anything that I regret on Twitter. Why am I saying these things? Okay. So we're happy with that. We've done our bears tier list. I'm going to fade back to the bear. Big old Chucky. And our top bear. Let's have a look at our top bear again, because the polar bear. Where's the top bear? Oh, that's them having their dinner. There's our top bear. The polar bear. Wow. Biggest bear you can get. So I'm just gonna have a little, trying to just Google some more pictures, which will take just hang on. Polar bear. I said Google, but it's not Google. It's Ecosia. Because I'm planting trees. Let's have a look at some images of. Look at this. No. Look at these polar bears. No wonder they're the top bear. Look at them. Absolutely ginormous as well. So yeah, this today's this episodic bear review has been brought to you in a way by Bear With Us, and I didn't do any research on them. I just typed in different bear species to Ecosia and this came up. So I don't know if they're a good organisation, but they seem to be trying to promote an ecologically positive message about bears. Should we have a look at what they do about us? Interested in wildlife and their behaviour, Mike became fascinated about perceived dangerous animals and our misunderstandings of these species. Mike is especially intrigued by bears. Sounds a little bit like Timothy Treadwell to start off, though, doesn't it? It's a bit worrying there. For most of his life, bears have been Mike's focus. Mike's been to Kamchatka, Russia, and walked among some of the largest bears in existence. Travelled to Alaska, the Rockies. Mike founded the Bear With Us Sanctuary and Rehabilitation Centre for Bears in 1992. That's quite impressive. I wonder if he's studied animal welfare. Has any qualification in animal husbandry? I don't know. I don't know if you need that necessarily to, I mean, excuse me. Obviously this Tiger King business, which was a Louis Theroux production, wasn't it? Louis Theroux went to visit that Tiger King man before Netflix did. Anyway, this tiger thing business has kicked up a bit of a few questions when it comes to animal welfare groups. But you've just got to hope, haven't you, that I've not promoted something awful to you in this video, and investigate it yourself. Because he does seem that, I mean, he genuinely seems to be trying to do a good thing here, Mike. In 1992, with the help of some local friends interested in wildlife rehabilitation, plus the cooperation of the Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry, Bear With Us was founded by Mike McIntosh. All began with the first bear in April 92, a big old blind bear from a zoo. Bear With Us assisted 570 plus orphaned and injured bears into the what to return to the wild. That's good, I suppose. Returning to the wild. That's a good concept, yeah. Bear With Us is a permanent home to a few select bears that cannot return to the wild. Okay, fair enough. I see. I mean, I'm interested in Mike and his Bear With Us organisation. I'm interested in it. I'm not slating it. I'm just saying that I don't know if Mike himself is a vegan, if he eats other animals. I mean, he's got a dog. That's nice, isn't it? I've got a dog. He's certainly doing good work, helping bears, I think. But once bitten, not by a bear, obviously I've not been bitten by a bear, but once bitten, twice shy in terms of Timothy Treadwell and the Tiger King thing, documentary. I've seen that there are people that think they're doing nice things and then turn out to not necessarily be doing the best things. So it's always nice if organisations like this have, and I'm not saying that you need a degree to do these things. I'm just saying it's nice if they have the authority of a legitimised organisation. Is it? I don't know what I'm saying now. Is that true? Yeah, it is kind of, isn't it? You know, it's supported by the WWF or, you know, some bigger Greenpeace or PETA. Is PETA the right choice here? Probably not. And, you know, but you know what I'm saying? Supported by something that has a good reputation to lend to this project would help me feel confident in its reputation. Or the other thing I'm going to have to do is one day, when all this coronavirus is over, is try and contact Mike. I mean, I'd love it if we could contact Mike. We might contact him on the stream and have a chat to him. In fact, that's probably a good idea. I'll try and contact Mike one of these days. And then one day we can maybe head over to the Bear With Us sanctuary and I could live out that dream of meeting a bear in the wild. You know, just encountering one and feeling all those feelings that I described in episode 1 of this video series. So that's something to put on the pinboard, isn't it? Something that's happened organic through this stream. Because like I said, I just ecosied up. I searched on Ecosia for bear type species or something. And this was like the top website, first one that came up. And it had the list of all the different bears, so that was helpful. So thanks, Mike, for that. And it's been interesting learning about these different bears. And were it not well past my bedtime, I'd stay and learn a bit more about bears with Mike. But we can do that another time. You can do that. We can do that together another time. So yeah, let's have a little look now at the big face. Let's pop the big face on the screen. Here we are. The big face on screen. You've been good. It's been nice having this time together. The stream will continue. As I say, I'm going to try and improve the setup step by step. We're going to move into a different room soon. And then things can really start being pushed forward. I don't know about the schedule. I don't know about when I'm going to be streaming, in what kind of frequency. It's going to be regular. I've got Hearthstone to play virtually every day. I've got games that I enjoy playing that I can share with you, and there will be new games that we will share together. So there's going to be that. The conversation, the browsing, the chat. We should have that. There's so much to do together. I've got interviews that I'd like to do as well, like a podcasty sort of style. And I'd like to talk with a couple of my friends, and I've got a couple of friends with whom I have such interesting conversations that I feel it would be in some way valuable to other people if I recorded, not secretly recorded them, but if we had a conversation on stream. Who knows where that can go. So yeah, so these are things that we hopefully will do together on this stream that I'm looking forward to doing together. But until the future, which could be now when you're watching it, the funny thing about this medium is that I'm here now, trapped in the internet for you to access at any point, and at whatever time you choose to access it is the future. Choose to access it, it's the future to future. Choose to access it, it's the future to future. Choose to access it, it's the future to future. Choose to access it, it's the future to future. But to you it's the present to access it, it's the future to future. But to you it's the present to access it, it's the future to future. But to you it's the present to access it, it's the future to future. But to you it's the present to access it, it's the future to future. But to you it's the present to it's now. It's midnight. It's always midnight. So be good, my little puckos. Be good.